Welcome back, everybody, to the show. I am your host, as always, Jay Villain, aka That Villain J, and tonight we have a very special treat for you. Yes, we do. Because you see in front of me is Moxfield, the Moxfield Dex Builder, where we are going to be theory crafting our Vampire World Black. Yes, we are. Because the world is a vampire, as you may or may not know, and it's sent to drain. Okay? So this is going to be my theory craft build for Foundations about mono black gain and drain vampires. True vampire deck. The deck is filled with vampires, and it also gain and drains you out. So we're going to be talking about what all the new stuff, the old stuff, how it all comes together in this one, and showing you how I feel like the tech is going to come out. Again, I haven't played this. This is my idea of what will be the best mono black vampire. So before we get down to this, I need you to do something for me, which is, of course, tenderly press that like button, gently press that subscribe button, because if you don't press that like and subscribe button, guys, I'm going to be honest with you. You're going to get attacked by the like and subscribe. Oh yeah, and that's a YouTube werewolf who will viciously maul you and claw you for not liking the video and subscribing today. Join us on our stream every night at twitch.tv/thatvillanj for all live streaming goodness. We love to see you there live and in person on Twitch and on YouTube. Yeah, we'll be live all day when Foundations hits Arena on Tuesday. Super stoked about that. Hit that bell so you don't miss it. Check out our Discord community for all the latest news and information. Share your decks that you've possibly built. And of course, come find this down on my Moxfield. It will probably also be on my AetherHub, but Moxfield, frankly, is kind of a better deck builder than AetherHub right now. AetherHub always shows up weird, and it's hard to use with cards that aren't there yet. So that's why we're using Moxfield, but the link will be down in the description so you can get yours copy here. Come follow me right there. So what are we talking about? Well, we have the capacity to go infinite. We're going to talk about that, but first we're going to talk about a couple of these new vampires and why I want to put 3 ofs in. Some of them are brand new and some of them are reprints. All right, so we'll start with one of the brand new cards exclusive to Foundations, and that is Vengeful Blood Witch. This is a new vampire, a vampire warlock. He's an outlaw, by the way. 1 black and 1 uncommon, okay? This card has never been printed anywhere else except for Foundations now. There's a couple things with Foundation. There's reprints of old cards, brand new cards, and then reprints of stuff that's already in Standard. He falls in the top category, brand spanking new. 1 black and 1 vampire warlock, 1/1. Whenever this creature dies, or another creature you control dies, target opponent loses 1 life and you gain life. Very simple, kind of like a Blood Artist, you know, except kind of a little better than a Blood Artist, I think. Or what is it? Not Sanguine, whatever that other one that does gain and drain. So simple, 1/1, 1 drop, 1/1, 2 drop, gain and drain. When it dies, it comes back, etc., etc., and so forth. Now, going from there, we're going to go into some of the reprints. A classic card that used to be like top tier was, I used to play this all the time, was Vampire Nighthawk. 2 black and 2 black and 1, 3 drop, 2/3 flying and death touch. Wow, very, very powerful as an uncommon right there. This used to be like one of the best vampires in the game. He's been outclassed since then. There's more powerful stuff since then, but still, you're going to see a common theme in all of these cards. All of them are either going to have to give you life, or are going to give you life in some way. They're going to get a gain and drain effect. With him, it's lifelink. We want everything to be in service of gaining life. Talk about that in a minute. Next, a reprint that I used to play all the time, Null Priest of Oblivion. Really like her. 1 black and 1, 2/1, lifelink and menace. Okay, again, sticking with the lifelink feed. We want life gain in this. That's going to be essential. Kicker. She has a very unique kicker, which is 1 black and 3. So you can kick her for a grand total of 6 and bring any creature from your graveyard to the battlefield. Extremely powerful and extremely useful. Resurrection early game, you can start putting in the life gain and drain on her like that. And then in the later game, you can possibly resurrect something with her right there. Another card that I was not familiar with, but is actually a reprint, 2 black, Calistria Highborn, Vampire Shaman right here. This is another, again, gain and drain effect. The world is a vampire, guys. Whenever this creature, another vampire you control, dies, you may pay 1 black. If you do, target player loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. As you can see, there is a there is a theme going on here, guys, okay? Which is gain and drain. We want life. We want almost every card to gain us life. That's the main goal right here. If we're talking about cards that already exist in Standard, we have 3 Greedy Freebooters. A little bit of Sacrifice and Ramp never hurt anybody. If you don't want to include too many of him, that's fine. But he's our only human, and he's going to be our human Thrall and Sacrifice creature right there. We're also going to have Ichor Drinkers, because I like that he is a 1-drop 1/1 lifelink. Again, triggering lifelink is going to be essential. And we're going to go with 3 Preacher of the Schisms right here. He does not have built-in life gain. However, he does help you draw cards, and he creates 1/1 vampire creature tokens with lifelink potentially. He's also a Death Touch. Death Touch is a big part of what we have. Death Touch, Death Touch, Death Touch. We're doing quite a bit of Death Touch on these guys, okay? So those are the other creatures we're going to have there. Now comes to the big show. I'm going to show you another brand new card and how it combines with Enduring Tenacity to go infinite. First things first, we have this brand new, this beautiful vampire, right? Look at this guy. Looking like absolutely like Dracula from Castlevania. Absolute monster. 5/5 Vampire Knight. 5-drop, 2 black and 3. Has never been printed anywhere else but Foundations. He is also brand new, okay? Flying and Death Touch. Very, very on theme for us, as we know. I love that his chest piece is an upside-down chalice. A flipped over chalice with blood pouring out on his tabard. Beautiful artwork, just amazing. Here's the key thing about him, though. Whenever an opponent loses life, you gain that much life, okay? So whenever we do damage or force them to lose life, we gain that back, right? Here's the thing, though. If we get this silly little snake veto going right here, our Snake Glimmer for Enduring Tenacity, our good friend from Duskmourn, 2 black and 2. Whenever we gain life, target opponent loses that much life. So this has a combination of exquisite blood, essentially what it is. Now the funny thing about him is that if you look at his regular Foundations, he actually says on him, "This town swims with such exquisite blood," which is pretty funny because he has an exquisite blood effect. What that means is that anytime you gain life, they lose life, and anytime they lose life, you gain life. This goes in a loop forever. 1 ping of life, 1 single point hitting, meaning if Ichor Drinker goes off, if 1 creature dies, if he does damage, if one of your 1/1 tokens done damage, Null Priest swings in, they're unblocked, or even if they hit you, it doesn't matter, you have to get rid of them. Vengeful, if anything dies with Callister Highborn or Vengeful Blood Witch, anything at all happens. Any life gain, 1 single point of life gain goes off. They lose life, we gain life, they lose life, we gain life, they lose life, we gain, lose, gain, lose, gain, lose, gain, lose, gain, and it's over. The game is over. You have completely drained every drop of blood out of their body. Is it an infinite loop right there that goes on? They either have to have a removal to break the disruption chain or something like that, but it puts people in the position, especially if it's on our turn and we immediately drop Bloodthirsty Conqueror with Enduring Tenacity already out, and we swing in for 1 point of damage. That's it. 1 point of damage. We gain, they lose, we gain, they lose, we gain, they lose, and that's all it takes. That one little bit sends them all the way screaming into hell. And that's what we want. That's what we want for all of our opponents. So Enduring Tenacity is going to come in big hit here. Normally I would use Veto. Veto is not available in Standard. However, if you're in like Historic or Timeless or any of those other crazy places, you can certainly use it. I call him Snake Veto. He's a good guy. The other advantage about this as well is that while he is 2 black and 2, he's still a nice 4/3, and when he dies, he comes back in as an enchantment. So even if they kill him, if they don't exile him, he comes back in, and then he could potentially trigger on again right there. So that is very, very cool with some of the new coolest vampires right here. Mono black, ultra gain and drain that goes infinite for you. As far as sorceries go, I'm going to go with Bitter Triumph. We're going to be gaining a lot of life with this deck. I'm not worried about losing 3. I want to be able to kill a creature or planeswalker. Or we can discard a card if we know that Null Priest can bring it back. I'm also going to go with Feed the Swarm. I really like this removal. Destroy target creature and enchantment opponent controls. You lose life equal to that permanent's mana value. Being able to kill like Sheltered by Ghosts or or even lose 3 life and destroy Caretaker's talent is extremely cool. I really like Black Enchantment Destruction. It's extremely useful. I know it's a sorcery, not an instant. There's an instant that's a little faster and you lose 2 life. I kind of like this one. However, your mileage may vary. You could, of course, use that other one that just came out in Duskborn. It's a little bit more pricey, which can kind of come later in the game. It's a little more pricey, but I've always liked Feed the Swarm, and also I think that is a vampire. It's a core vampire on there. I don't know. So I just like the art too. It's just awesome. So that's what I'm going to use for removal. Everything else is going to be gain and drain because we're trying to go for that infinite loop effect right there. We're going to go 3 Cavern of Souls. Of course, we're going to choose Vampire and 21 Swamps altogether. So Withering Torment. Thank you. Withering Torment's also the alternate that you could put in here. We'll type that in. Withering Torment. Yeah, so we'll say Withering Torment. Move to sideboard. There you go. So yeah, Withering Torment could be in the sideboard. That is destroy target creature enchantment. As an instant, you lose 2 life. It's a little slower. That's my big issue with it. It takes our 3 spot, and we have a lot of kind of essential 3 drops. And if we're playing this on turn 3 or something like that, it is kind of a hard piece to move right there. So not only do we have the infinite loop win con, I want to say that is not our only win con on this. We can go our ground game, man. We have enough flyers and death touch to start really putting in damage on him. I mean, Bloodthirsty Conqueror, regardless of whatever else he is, he's a 5/5 flying and death touch. You know what I mean? And if we cause our opponent to gain life, lose life, even gaining life for all the damage that we do, we're gonna be really gassed up. We're gonna be 20 plus, 30 plus life. It's just hard to eat through that much life when you're constantly gaining it. When your defenders all have death touch and you're constantly swinging in the sky and all that, it is extremely, extremely difficult just to beat that right there. Yeah, so it's just going to be a fun deck. It's just going to be a fun time. Again, this is my theory craft. I'm not 100% sure this is going to work exactly the way I want it. You're going to have to tune in for the day to get it, but that is certainly how I'd like to start it out right there, how I would possibly build it. To especially show off that lovely infinite loop between the snake and vampire as we go. So what are we talking about on the on the play here? We have 61 cards in the main deck, 2 in the sideboard. To buy this in paper is going to cost $333. Wouldn't recommend that maybe right away. But 29 creatures, very creature heavy. 4 sorceries, 4 instants, 4 enchantments, which is an enchantment creature, and 24 swamps altogether. I think the CMC, if I can look down here, it's 100% black. Average number of hands in opening land is 2.75. We can take a couple looks at some test games here. I can run you through kind of a test game to see how it works. But early play, what are we going to draw on their 6 permanents, mana value 1. CMC is pretty decent. It's not bad. The average mana value deck is 1.5, and with lands it's 2.5 without lands. Median mana value is 2. So it's not that expensive. We are keeping it pretty low to the ground. So those are a couple of opening hands. Let's try a play test real quick. So decent opening hand here. So we could go play 1, boom, next turn. Play 2, we could immediately play the Callistra Highborn. Boom. Next turn, we could do that into a Nighthawk. Next turn, we could do this and do that and play a Bitter Triumph. Okay, next turn, turn 5, we got one of these. This is going to help us, that's going to help us draw cards right there. Okay. All right, so we would attack and maybe have extra mana to play for the gain and drain effects right there. Next turn. Ooh, okay. If we attack with Preacher the Schism, depending, we might get an extra card. So we would maybe get that. But fairly low to the ground, especially with this much death touch and gain and drain. Fairly low to the ground. We are getting a little bit too much mana. We might even be able to actually shave a mana off of this for right there, but not a bad ground game. We kind of flooded out. Let's try a new game though, just to see what happens. So let's start over again. Boop, 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 boop. Restart. Yes. All right, so early game, we got a couple of chumps right here. Maybe we'll go for that. Pop that down. We'll pop Greedy Freebooter so they don't know what's in our hand next. Next turn, we'll put another one. We hit him with another Greedy. We do Ichor Drinker. Maybe we die. We could scry off the top. That'll be next turn. We knew we were going to get a land. Let's say that we threw that land away. So we have a plenty of removal. Next turn. Oof. Oof. Wow. Nothing in that one. Let me try one more game, because that was a bad hand right there, huh? All right. Let's see if we can't pull the loop. All right. We got some components right there. First, we go first. Next turn. Into Callistra on turn 2. Next turn. Land and Nighthawk on 3. Not bad. Next turn. We could definitely play Bitter Triumph. We could do that. And maybe bring out Oblivion. Next turn, we would put down our 5th mana Conqueror. Next turn, Ichor Drinker. Next turn. That would be useful if we're able to survive until right now. We could be in a better position, because what we're looking at here is a pretty wide board, assuming they haven't killed or we haven't had to block. But that will also give us the that'll also give us the card draw. So if we go next turn and we've taken damage, we have to get to draw an extra card there. We're getting a lot of mana, which is unusual. Next turn, next turn. How quickly could we get that? Let's see. Enduring Tenacity was way down there, unfortunately. But either way, I'm pretty happy with the smoothness. Again, I like the curve on this one. I think it's a pretty good curve. We might have too much mana in it. We're kind of running low to the ground here. So maybe we don't need to... maybe we don't need that much mana. But either way, this is how I want to set up my specific gain and drain. I'm gonna start Tuesday with this. I'm gonna see where the games go, where they take me, how they actually pan out, and I will take it from there. I know there's a couple more vampires in standard that maybe you're thinking, I don't know, maybe that one. I wanted to kind of shove as much new stuff as I could in here, without completely taking it to, without, you know, kind of relying on the old stuff. I really wanted to bring something new to it and just really experience a completely kind of brand new deck. So I hope you like this one. Leave a comment. Tell me what you think about this deck. Let me put it in the visual mode for you right here. I can probably put it in visual mode for you. But anyways, thank you so much for coming by. Make sure you like. Leave a comment. Tell me what you think. Leave a comment. Tell me what you think. I would love to have you know. I would love to see what your opinion on it is, and what you think could be changed, could be improved. Did I miss something? Did I do something wrong? But yeah, I am pretty excited about Foundations. Are you? I know I am. I'm excited to get it going. I'm excited to get Foundations, and I'm excited to get this bloodthirsty Conqueror going. Until next time, guys, may Vito save and preserve you. Through the blood of the wicked we shall be redeemed. Hallelujah, amen. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.